have officially recognized the Armenian Genocide, as have Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Argentina, Belgium, Greece, Russia, Sweden, Switzerland, as well as the Council of Europe, European Parliament, and the Vatican. The International Association of Genocide Scholars unanimously affirmed at their most recent meeting in June of this year that the Armenian Genocide is recognized by the overwhelming opinion of scholars who study genocide. Hundreds of independent scholars who have no affiliations with governments and whose work spans many countries and nationalities and the course of decades. Along with hundreds of thousands of Armenian Americans and countless concerned human rights supporters across the United States, I was encouraged by the House International Relations Committee's vote less than 2 weeks ago to overwhelmingly approve legislation properly recognizing the Armenian Genocide. I'm sure that you would agree that the strong committee-level support for this legislation reflects the powerful bipartisan consensus in the House of U.S. Representatives for decisive action to properly recognize the first genocide of the 20th century. All that you need to do to move this legislation to a vote is to remain consistent with your own record. As you recall, in 1994, you spoke on the floor of the U.S. House about the need for Armenian Genocide remembrance. In '96, you voted for the Radinovich Amendment to cut aid to Turkey until it ended its genocide denials. Most recently, in 2000, you pledged the Speaker to bring the Armenian Genocide legislation to a full vote of the U.S. House. Following your withdrawal of the Armenian Genocide resolution in October of 2000, you stressed in an official statement your personal support for this legislation, your belief that the resolution enjoyed the support of a bipartisan congressional majority, and your pledge to bring this legislation back to the House floor. The time has come, after 5 years, to honor this promise and to act in a manner that we all know to be fully consistent with our values and long-term interests as a nation. Today, the decision rests in your hands to schedule a vote or to effectively defeat this legislation by refusing to allow the 435 members of the U.S. House to cast their ballots on this human rights issue. I'm quite aware of the pressures placed upon you by the administration, the military-industrial complex, and the special interest groups that warned about the consequences of angering Turkey, a NATO ally, over their denial of the Armenian Genocide. These so-called friends of Turkey are wrong. The truth is that, by acting as apologists for Turkey, they're actually holding back Turkey from progress, their own history, and the truth. By allowing this vote, and allowing the will of Congress to be freely expressed, you will be doing the right thing, morally, and at the same time, encouraging Turkey to deal honestly with its past and more openly with its future. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Serj. Thank you. Okay. Hello. Oh, sorry. Nobody says it better than Serj. Very simply, what we're doing today is not only talking about Turkey and what Turkey should or shouldn't do, we're talking about what Americans, as Americans, what we should and shouldn't do. We today count our national interests, we measure our success as a nation in dollars, we measure it in barrels of oil, we measure it in military bases. It's about time that we had a little bit of a revolution where we talked about our national interests and our success as a nation in the lives we save, in the humanity we serve, in the suffering that we relieve. When I reread the lyrics to Pluck yesterday, and that's the conclusion I came to, which is that we cannot simply go on with business as usual. We're going to end up with the Armenian Genocide leading to the Holocaust, leading to the Cambodian Resolution, the Rwandan genocide, and then the genocide today in Darfur. It's going to go on. There's going to be another genocide, another 5 or 10 years, unless we bring an end to this cycle. So very, very great thank you to John, to Serj, to all of System. You guys are heroes.
John, I want you to say something.
Badass, John!
As all of you know, I'm the drummer for the band.
Yeah.
Not really much into speeches, but I just want to thank everybody. It's very moving that you're all here. I know there's a lot of people here that are not of Armenian descent, and that means a lot to us that you come out to support our cause and that you support our music also. Yeah. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
You rock, Jack.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for coming today. There is something else that I'd like to add on behalf of the Armenian National Committee of Illinois. That is that each of you can make a difference. While our numbers may not be that big today, realize that your presence here and your words and your actions will be felt across the country and across the world. We're very lucky to live in a country that allows us to freely assemble and chant and carry signs and do what we do. Last Saturday in Turkey, in Istanbul, Turkey, a group of academics and scholars tried to gather to have a conference to discuss what happened to the Armenians in 1915. They tried to have this conference in May, and the Minister of Justice shut it down. Then the courts shut it down. And finally they had to relocate. Those people are looking for us to lead the way for them, to open the door for light and justice to shine into Turkey as well. So please realize that your efforts do count and that you are being heard and you will make a difference through your efforts here and all across the country. Thank you very much for coming.